Guys, it's Chandra, and I'm here because I made another little mini folio. I had made an envelope mini, and I had some papers that were, I think they were 4 by 6, no, 4 by 5 3/4 that were left over. So I wanted to make a mini album to use the rest of these papers, so I thought I would make a folio. And so what I've done is I've used the file tabs edgelit dies from Stampin' Up to punch out the file tab here and on some of the pockets, but on the one that I'm making you, I'm not going to do that. But if you wanted to do that, you would just, lay your die or punch a border or whatever you want on the side. So it's just a simple one. It opens up like that. Here's a pocket here, and I just made like a card tag there, which you could add flaps, or you can add a magnet here, you can add pockets, whatever you want to this flips up, but right here there's two pockets, and there's two like journaling size cards, um, there, and then here's another pocket with another like card style. And that's all there is to it. It's pretty simple. As always, the measurements will be down below, and then I'll also say them. So you're going to need a piece that measures 5 1/4 by 6, and these are all in inches. I don't even have a ruler to transfer them to centimeters. If I find one before when I'm posting this, I'll try to post the centimeters, but I don't even have them. I don't even have one. So you're going to need one that measures 5 1/4 by 6, two that measure 4 3/4 by 6, one that measures 4 1/2 by 7, one that measures 5 1/4 by 3 1/2, one that measures 4 1/8 by 6 1/2, two that measure 4 1/2 by 4, two that measure 4 1/8 by 2 7/8, and two that measure 5 3/4 by 8. So the first piece that you're going to want to mess with is the 5 1/4 by 6. You're going to stick it so that the 5 1/4 inches is at the top of your scoreboard, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch and then at 4 3/4, and this is going to be the middle of the folio. The next two pieces are the ones that measure 4 3/4 by 6. You're going to stick one in so that the 4 3/4 inch side is at the top, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch. You can do the exact same thing on the other side. It's just that we're going to flip it over because you want your score marks to be on the middle of these, and that's going to be the two flaps. So if you wanted to border punch these, you could border punch the one that has the score mark on the left side, and you're going to punch the right side so that when you fold it over, this part is decorated. The next piece is 4 1/8 by 6 1/2. You're going to stick it so that the 6 1/2 inch side is at the top, and you're going to score at 6 inches. So you just want 1/2 inch on one of the short sides, and this is going to be the middle flap. You're going to need two that measure 4 1/2 by 4. You're going to stick it in so that the 4 inch side is at the top. You're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then 3 1/2, and rotate it once, and then score at 4 inches. And you're going to do that to both of those, and this is what's going to create the two pockets on the middle flap. And the last pocket is the one that measures 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. So you're going to score on two short sides and one long. So you're going to stick it in so the 5 1/4 inch side is at the top. You score at 1/2 inch, 4 3/4, rotate it once, and score at 3. And this is going to be the pocket for the middle of the folio. Now the two pieces that measure 5 3/4 by 8, you're going to score those in half. So you're going to put the 8 inch at the top and score at 4. And those are going to be the two cards style mats that I showed you. And then the last two pieces that measure 4 1/8 by 2 7/8, you're not going to do anything with those. We're just going to mat them with paper. And as always, you want to use score tape when you're putting these together, and I'm actually doing that today because I plan on giving this one away. So I'm taking the 4 1/4 by 6 inch side, and I'm folding on the score marks that I made so that the flaps are folded. I'm going to flip it over so that I can apply my score tape on that 1/2 inch flap that we made there. Now I'm going to take the two pieces that were 4 3/4 by 6. I'm going to fold on the score marks on those as well. I'm going to apply score tape on that flap, that 1/2 inch flap that we made. So when you fold it, there's this little flap there. It's going to be sitting up, so just want extra tape. You don't really need to put extra tape on these, but I just want to have extra tape. You know what? So now I'm taking the tape backing off all 4 of these. This is just going to make the spine, if you will, a little bit stronger. So you're just going to put this side onto this. So I'm just going to butt the lip of this up with the folded edge of this with the 2 taped sides facing each other, and I'm going to push down, and I'm going to make sure that I am just shy of the fold here, and I'm going to try to zoom in. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't know, some people have said they've had problems with the volume, but then like I've been watching YouTube videos and some of them I can't hear either, so I don't think it's me. So I'm taking off score tape and I'm doing the same thing on this side. I'm getting distracted. So this is what I meant. Right here's the fold line, and so you want to make sure that you butt this edge of this paper right with that fold line so it still closes. So this is going to close like this, and we're going to do the same thing on this. You're just going to bump it up. I'm trying to keep it straight because you don't want to put this on there wackadoodle, because you don't want one side to be taller than the other. I'm trying to do it so you can see. When you're recording, you work a lot slower than you do when you're not, because you don't really have a good angle to see stuff because you don't want to get your head in the camera. So this is the base of the folio, so you can see. So I think the next piece we'll do is the 4 1/8 by 6 1/2, and that's the one that we scored 1/2 inch on one side here. And I'm just going to zoom back out so you can see what I'm doing. I'm applying score tape again on the flap, but while it's not extended. So right here's the 1/2 inch flap, and that's where I've applied the tape. Now I'm going to fold it back. I'm going to line it up here in between the 2 folds. Right here's the fold and right here's the fold, so I'm going to angle it so I can see. And that's why this is cut at 4 1/8 instead of 4 1/4, so that we can get it in between those 2 score lines and not have any obstruction. So it's cut just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the dimensions of this right here, because this is 4 1/4 and this is 4 1/8, so that it will open and close. Okay. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put the pocket that we made right here. And that is the 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. We scored on one long side and 2 short sides here. So I'm just folding on all my score marks. I'm going to apply tape. I've unfolded it now. I'm going to apply tape. Make sure I'm in the frame here. And then we're going to cut off little squares. Just like if you were sewing a pocket onto something, you want to take out the bulk. And now I'm going to fold these 2 sides down, and then I'm going to fold the bottom up to the 2 sides. Peel off the tape backing and put that right in the middle. And again, if you wanted to decorative punch this, you can do that before obviously you stick it on there, or use an edge die. Excuse me, like on mine, I used the die, but just upside down, so it made that file folder look there. I'm missing a pocket. I'm missing this pocket here. So it would have been 7 by 4 3/4. Got a 7 by 4 1/2. Where'd it go? Huh. Well, the 7 by 4 1/2, you don't know what happened to it. I don't know. 7 by 4 1/2. I don't know what happened. I don't remember scoring it, actually. Maybe I didn't cut it out. I know I said it at the beginning. I guess that's what matters, right? All right, so the 7 by 4 1/2, you're going to stick it in so the 7-inch side is at the top. You're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 6 1/2, and then rotate it so that the 4 1/2 inch side is there and score at 4. And again, if you want to use a decorative punch on the top of this where it's not scored, you can do that. And this is going to be the pocket. Oh, I need to apply my score tape. I'm just waiting for my mom to call to pick her up from her last round of chemo. She did 6 days of chemo, and then she'll be off for 2 weeks, and then she'll do 6 more days, and then she's doing radiation every day for 12 weeks. So hopefully that kicks the cancer's butt. She was pretty tired yesterday. All right, so we folded the pocket, and we're going to put the pocket here. So we want the folded edge of the pocket to be along the folded edge of this page. But again, you don't want it right on the fold. And you also want to make sure that you're lining it up with the actual page. So you have 3 sides to be even about. Okay, so we have that pocket. So now, this front flap is where we have the last 2 pockets. And those were the ones that measured 4 1/2 by 4. So I'm going to fold on all 3 of those score marks, and then apply tape on the folded edges there. And then we're going to cut out the little squares that are formed. I don't need that. Why is that there? And then you can mat however you like. And don't forget to mat the tags too. I don't know what paper I'm going to use. I have tons, you know. I don't know. So, cutting at an angle to the point, just to cut off this. And this would be a cute little brag book to make for somebody who just had a baby. They could stick it in their purse. Grandma brag book. First day of school. Teacher gift. You know, lots of stuff. And so you can put these however you want. If you want the opening on this side or if you want the opening on that side, that's where your opening is going to be. So I'm just going to line it up with the page itself and the bottom. And then there's just a little bit of a gap there. You can punch these decoratively, whoops, as well. I just ripped off the score tape on the side that's obviously doesn't have the fold on it. And you can use any type of die or punch that you want, wavy edge scissors if you don't have that. So there we go. So let me clean up that mess. So then these 2 pieces that are 4 1/8 by 2 7/8, they go in here. and they fit at the bottom there so that they're the same size as the flap. And then I rounded the corners, and I'll probably do that on these as well, of these little cards. One that goes here and one that goes in here. And that is the mini album. I see that it's washed out, but I hope you guys like it, and I hope you have a great week, day. I will talk to you guys later.